Hello everybody, welcome to this reading. Gabby Turner here. It's nice to have you. So today we're going to be looking at their first impressions as well as how their thoughts and feelings and impressions over you have developed over time. But we're first going to be looking at that very initial moment, like what was the gut instinct that they had or that initial thought that they had upon that first looking at you, that very first moment of looking at you. And of course, first impressions are more than just that. So we're going to go a little bit further into, as they were initially getting to know you or learning about who you were, what were those first impressions like? And then we're going to see, as we said, how did those feelings, thoughts, and impressions for you develop over time up to the current moment? So what are they currently feeling as well? So we have 3 options here below. Just take your time getting in touch with your intuition, and then you can use the timestamps below. You'll also notice when you go to those timestamps that there's a link to sign up for my quarterly newsletter, which the next edition of that is coming out at the end of June. If you've ever considered getting a reading from me, or if you've had one before and you want to do it again, or if you think you might want to in the future, please sign up for my newsletter because there are great opportunities in there in every single newsletter for exclusive and significant discounts on personal readings. I've had so many people take advantage of the discount that I provided back in March in my last newsletter, and I hope that you will sign up for that so that that will be available to you as well. All right, so whenever you are ready, I will see you at your reading. Welcome to everybody who chose reading number 1. So if you watch the intro, you know that we're gonna go over all of their first impressions more thoroughly, but what was that initial gut reaction just when they first laid eyes on you, that very first moment? So the first cards we're going to be looking at are just this one tarot card and this Sherlock Holmes playing card. So the Queen of Wands, they thought you were sexy. They thought that you were hot. They thought this is someone who is just undeniably physically attractive to me. They may have also just, as a sense of your personality, you might have seemed like someone who's very confident. Maybe you were talking or socializing with other people and they just noticed you being the type of person that other people seem to gravitate towards. So yeah, they thought you were very intriguing. And also we have here the 7 of Diamonds, which is like the 7 of Pentacles. You see, but you do not observe. So they also had a sense that there's more to the story here. They liked what they saw, right? They definitely liked what they saw, but they also had a feeling like there's way more to be discovered here. And the 7 of Pentacles is saying that they wanted to get to know you more. So they felt immediately like you were someone that they wanted to invest further in getting to know. So let's look a little bit more into it. As they continue to get to know you, yeah, the magic of the Kohellan Druid, caution, secrecy, wary. So the Queen of Wands is someone who is very, open-hearted. She wears her heart on her sleeve. So they did see that about you, that you were very open in a sense. But both of these cards tell me that they knew that there was some like deeper magical quality to you, like that you had some sort of secrets or something. You're both an open book and an undiscovered book at the same time. I know that life and the people living it can be an absolute bummer sometimes, but I promise not to let unhappy chapters make me jaded. If I let negative experiences turn me sour, then the jerks win. So I'll move on with an open and hopeful heart, if only because I hate losing to jerks. So yeah, they had a sense as they were continuing to sort of develop their first impressions of you, beyond that initial moment of seeing you. They started to see that you have a history, perhaps, in terms of relating to other people, where you've had a lot of bummer experiences, and you've had to kind of move on to it and still maintain your confidence. So, and I think, they were interested in that. They wanted to get to know you more. I also feel like, this is probably the Roman numeral 2 here, but it also reminds me of the sign, the symbol for Gemini. And so I think that they just wanted to talk to you more. They felt like, yeah, you're someone who would be a really good conversationalist. I want to have conversations with you. What else as they were developing their first impressions? Lizzo, truth hurts. Yeah, so they knew that you had your heart broken, but you were someone who was going to rise above that and just continue to be confident and do your thing. So they may have, as they were getting to know you at first, they may have been aware that you'd had some sort of heartbreak. So you tried to break my heart. Oh, that breaks my heart. That you thought you ever had it. No, you ain't from the start. Hey, I'm glad you're back with you, bitch. I mean, who would want to hide this? I will never, ever, ever, ever be your side chick. I put the sing in single. I ain't worried about a ring on my finger. So you can tell your friend, shoot your shot when you see him. It's okay. He's already in my DMs. Why men great till they gotta be great? Don't text me. Tell it straight to my face. Best friend set me down in a salon chair. Shampoo press get you out of my hair. Yeah, so they may have caught you in a moment where you were like moving on from someone in a very confident way. This talks about, I put the sing in single. The Queen of Wands is also someone who can really embrace her singlehood and just be like, listen, I'm here to live. I'm not here to live for you. I'm here to live for me. So that's what they thought when they were first getting to know you. Let's look as they were getting a little bit more deeper into it. What did they think? Death. Let's get our other cards out here as well. Death. So yeah, they continued. I mean, they already had this sense that there was sort of this mystery or this depth to you. But they definitely, as time went on, were like, I have to explore this. My horror at his crimes was lost in my admiration at his skill. They may have also gotten more information about this person who broke your heart. The Ace of Spades, which is like the Ace of Swords, is like, it's about the mind uncovering truths. So they may have been horrified at something that happened to you in your life. And they were like, how in the world did this person possibly even break your heart? So because they had such a high opinion of you, they're like, that person must have been really skilled to break your heart because you're such a winner, Let's see here. What else? As they were continuing to get to know you, what were they thinking? As they continued to get to know you. Receptivity. They saw you as someone who, considered yourself to be worthy of the very best. Again, going back to the confidence expressed in the Lizzo song. You are not going to settle for less than the best. You know that you're worthy of receiving the best. I have another one coming up. Guide. I think they also, just kind of saw you as someone who's very social, or you developed, even if you're not someone who has a ton of friends, they saw you as someone who, when you do form a friendship with someone, it's a very close bond, and you're someone who likes to kind of get down to the heart of the matter and really get to know someone. That goes along with the death card here as well, which is like Scorpio energy. Scorpio is about, like really knowing someone to their very depths, not just the surface level stuff, but like, I really want to know who you are. What are your secrets? What have you been through? So they saw that potential in you that, if you're willing to open up that book to someone, there's going to be so much there to discover, and you're equally willing to discover what it is that other people have to offer, if you decide to let them in. This person was wanting to be let in. Whether you did or not, I don't know, but what else? As they were continuing to get to know you. Yeah, they just thought you were so warm. I focus on warmth and let it guide all my interactions. No matter how others behave, I choose to respond warmly. With warmth, I can melt any icy exterior. I can soften any hard feelings. I can microwave any pizza. Today, I adopt the saying, kill 'em with kindness, and turn myself into a warm, loving serial killer. So yeah, I mean, they felt like you were just warm and cuddly and someone that they could get so close to, and they wanted that. I feel like they also wanted just like this kind of warm physical proximity. I mean, yeah, they thought you were sexy to begin with, but they were thinking about like cuddles. So what about now? How are they feeling and thinking about you now? John Mayer, New Light. So this is about, it's kind of a song about like, you know, you've known someone a while. Maybe you've just always been friends and you've never gotten past the friend zone. And this is someone who wants to get past the friend zone. They want to see about you those things that they haven't been able to see yet, including, you know, like your naked body probably. But yeah, so, and we can go far from the end and make a new world together. So yes, right now, I mean, so this is probably someone that you haven't actually been involved with yet romantically, even now, but they do want that. Let's see what else. What are their current thoughts and feelings? King of Swords. Man, or at least criminal man, has lost all enterprise and originality. As to my own little practice, it seems to be degenerating into an agency for recovering lost dead pencils and giving advice to young ladies from boarding schools. I kind of feel like this is someone who's just, in general, pretty jaded with their romantic experiences so far. Like they're, you know, they're like, well, there are lots of pretty young things out there, but, you know, I'm trying to find someone original, and they feel like that you are that original person. The more, I don't know what that word is, outre and grotesque an incident is, the more carefully it deserves to be examined. So yeah, they feel like there's something kind of dark about you. Maybe they feel that you've gone through some very sinister experiences or something here with the Death card. But even now, they feel like there's just a lot that they don't know about you that they would like to really uncover. But at the same time, they're like, I'm really not sure how that would ever actually come about. You know, I want to get to know you better, but I have no idea how to go about doing it, or like how to allow the circumstances to develop in that way. They're very focused on the present. You know, they're not trying to look too much into the future right now. They're just focusing on the now as it relates to you. I feel like this person doesn't really think that you want to offer them something. So, I mean, you're watching this reading for them, so obviously you probably do want to get closer to them emotionally and have this emotional intimacy, but they're not really seeing it that way. They feel like it's blocked, but they're not going to give up either, because they think, well, if I hang in here long enough, maybe I will finally figure out how to do this. And I also feel like this person is like, they just enjoy appreciating you as the present, as the gift that you are, even if they never get to have this life with you that they want. They feel in some way that you have changed their life or allowed them to see the world in a better way. This is someone who feels like, you know, they've wanted to do a lot in life, and maybe they don't feel like they've gotten as far as what they've wanted. And they look at you and feel that you have, and that really impresses them. It makes them want to know more about what's on your mind about all of that. You know, how did you get to where you are? How did you become such a confident, self-sufficient person? I feel like this person wants to make you proud of them as well. And they feel like there are maybe some obstacles in their life, or maybe even competition from other people who also want to impress you. And they're like, I want to make you happy with me. I want to show you that I'm the most impressive person. But it's like they're still figuring out how to do that. Like they don't quite even know what it is that impresses you, because you know, you have this Lizzo energy here where it's like, you know, they know that it would take a lot to impress you, and they're just not quite sure yet what that is. Let's get some messages from them. So in the present moment, what would they want to say? I stare at your pics because staring at your face this much in person would be creepy. Did I mention I think you're cute? So yeah, I mean, they definitely have not stopped thinking that you are very good looking. I think about taking you to meet my family. Yeah, this person has very significant... When will I see you again? Wow, they're looking forward to seeing you again. I feel like they might not know how to make that happen, though. They're waiting for it. Certain songs make me think of you. I want to grow old with you. I mean, there are lots of different messages in this deck, and a lot of them are not quite as positive, and you've gotten just all positive messages. So when I pull this card, I just wonder, like, if there's a song in this oracle deck that I have here, which song in this deck, if they heard it, would make them think of you? Oh, Alicia Keys, Fallen. I keep on falling in and out of love with you. Sometimes I love you. Sometimes you make me blue. Sometimes I feel good. At times I feel used. Loving you, darling, makes me so confused. I keep on falling in and out of love with you. I never loved someone the way that I love you. I never felt this way. How do you give me so much pleasure and cause me so much pain? Just when I think I've taken more than would a fool, I start falling back in love with you. I don't know if they've fallen in and out of love, but let's ask more about it. What is this? Why does this song remind them of you? When it comes to them, when it comes to you, I feel like, I think it's like sort of self-protective. There have been moments when maybe they've like pulled their energy back because they have all of this doubt. I feel like the two of you have gone through cycles before where they maybe have tried to get closer to you, and it just seems like every time they try to move towards you more, something blocks them, or they just don't have much luck, or they're lacking confidence or something. So yeah, sometimes I think they try to distract themselves from their thoughts and feelings of you because it just feels sort of hopeless, and they don't like that feeling of being hopeless. And from your end, they just feel like you have other things that you're interested in, and that having a relationship with them is not really the most important thing on your mind. So, any final thoughts? Final thoughts. I feel like your guides are saying this person is a keeper. You know, there's a firm foundation here. There's more to be explored. What's the advice for you here? I feel like they're just telling you to have trust and faith, that there's not like any specific action that you need to do to manifest this. You don't have to sort of force it into being, like forcing puzzle pieces to come together. Just, you know, continue enjoying your life and know that there is a firm foundation here. So I really hope that you enjoyed that reading. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to sign up for my newsletter, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Hello to everybody who chose reading number 2. Let's see. So if you watched the intro, you'll know the very first thing we're going to be looking at is just that initial kind of gut response when they first laid eyes on you. And then we'll look a little bit more into their first impressions and how their impressions and feelings about you changed over time. So the Tower. I had a feeling this card was going to come up somewhere for this part of the reading. Yeah, I mean, you had a very strong impact on them. Like, it was like a bolt of lightning. This is almost like love at first sight type of energy. Like, they're like, whoa, my life just changed in this moment. So I think it took them off guard. This is positive, you know. I know the Tower card looks kind of scary, but yeah, they were like, damn. 6 of Pentacles. To a great mind, nothing is little. They were noticing every damn thing about you because, yeah, they're like, I see something here that is like mind-blowing in you. There was something about you that just blew their mind. And they're like, every detail is important. I don't want to not notice every detail. So I mean, probably they were blown away by your looks, but I feel like there's just some energy that you're putting off. And this also could be a situation where it was just your souls sort of recognized something in each other, or yeah, something like that. Like mind blown. Let's look more about this. The crane bag, sacred ocean medicine, clutter, declutter choice. I kind of feel like, you know, also like the first time you, your eyes met each other's, they just saw sort of like a quiet benevolence, like a loving nature in you, like without even having to get to know you very well or even speak to you much. They felt seen by you. I think that was part of what this tower moment was for them as well. They just felt seen. They may have felt like they had to make a choice as well. So maybe there was someone else they were involved with when they saw you, or there was someone else they had feelings with, and they were like, well, I have to make a choice now because I cannot deny the power of this moment. This feels sacred to me. Commitment, you know, like they were already thinking like, wow, this is the person I'm supposed to really be with, like in a major way. I willingly accept that it's safe to topple my walls and commit completely to a relationship. So that might have been mind-blowing to them as well. Maybe they'd never felt it that strongly before, that, whoa, you know, like this is commitment energy. And maybe they'd been scared of commitment before and you broke down those walls as well. It may be one that's already here or one that's already on the way. Either way, those walls have got to go. Without them, I can go further, feel freer, and love bigger than ever before. Bonus, no walls means I'll save a lot of money on picture frames. Yeah, like they wanted their walls to break down. They wanted to break down their walls for you, but it's almost like even on first glance, the walls already came down. Like you looked at them, your eyes met, and the walls just started crumbling down. They thought, this is someone who I can be vulnerable with. This is someone who I can open up to. So let's look more here. Like as it progressed, as things progressed, and they, you know, beyond that first look, as they continued to gain their first impressions of you. What else? What else was going on in their mind and heart here? I have two of those wanting to come out. Two of those as well. They had a lot. There was a lot on their mind. And I also just want to start this portion of it with a Song Oracle card. So what else was going on for them in their heart and mind? Gosh, their mind was like in overdrive, I feel like. So we have Matthew Wilder, Break My Stride. Last night I had the strangest dream. I sailed away to China in a little rowboat to find you, and you said you had to get your laundry cleaned. Didn't want no one to hold you. What does that mean? And you said, ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I gotta keep on moving. I'm running and I won't touch ground. I gotta keep on moving. You're on the road and now you pray it lasts. The road behind was rocky, but now you're feeling cocky. You look at me and see your past. Never let another girl like you work me over. Never let another girl like you drag me under. If I meet another girl like you, I will tell her. Never want another girl like you. Have to say, nothing going to break my stride. This person felt the possibility that you would break their heart. Because they had the impression that maybe you just wouldn't share those feelings of wanting to settle down with them. Also, Hosier from Eden. Babe, there's something tragic about you, something so magic about you, don't you agree? There's something so lonesome about you, so wholesome about you, get closer to me. No tight side, no rolling eyes, no irony, no who cares, no vacant stares, no time for me. You're familiar like my mirror years ago. Idealism sits prison. Chivalry fell on its sword. Innocence died screaming. I slithered here from Eden just to sit outside your door. There's something wretched about this, something so precious about this. To the strand, a picnic planned for you and me, a rope in hand for your other man to hang from a tree. Yeah. So maybe they thought you were involved with someone else, and they obviously didn't like that, or at the very least, they felt like this is going to end in me getting my heart broken. You know, it's like they just knew that their heart was going to get broken, or that's what they felt, because their feelings were so intense, and they just didn't have confidence about it actually working out, though. Queen of Pentacles. Perhaps when a man has special knowledge and special powers like my own, it rather encourages him to seek a complex explanation when a simpler one is at hand. Yeah, this was so mind-blowing, this experience. This is probably a twin flame or a high-level soulmate type of thing where your souls just like instantaneously recognize each other, and there's probably like a lot of intense karma, and maybe that's what that emotion was that was evoked. And you know, it may, I mean, they had like some, whether they believe in psychic ability or not, there was some psychic awareness here where they were like, I just know this is something profound, but it also already feels like heartbreak even before it started. Interesting. Yeah. It's like the love was there even from the beginning. It was undeniable. They almost felt like unconditional love for you even without knowing you, but they just, again, like they just knew in their heart that they were going to get their heart broken by you. Honesty. Honesty and independence. Yeah, I mean, they felt like you were someone who would always be honest and true to what you wanted in life. But they also could just see that you were someone who was just always going to be independent. I embrace total independence, and I see how empowering that is. Even when I'm in a relationship, I can still be independent by meeting my own needs and creating my own happiness. When I do that, I'm the fullest version of myself, and I have much more me to give without needing pieces of me in return. A scientifically impossible expectation. We have the sun and the moon here. We think of the moon as just, you know, she changes her phases based on her relationship to the sun, her position to the sun. And I feel like this is saying, you know, the moon is usually more symbolic of feminine energy and the sun of masculine energy. You know, but regardless of your genders here, they felt like it hurt their pride a little bit, I think, that you probably didn't, or they saw it as that you probably didn't really need them in the same way that they needed you, because they wanted some sort of shared recognition from you to reflect that back to them. It was kind of an ego thing, you know. I think they were afraid of, it wasn't just their heart getting broken, but they thought, well, my ego is really going to suffer here, because I'm not going to get reflected back to me the same kind of intense passion that I have. Maybe they thought you would be someone who would be brutally honest. If they tried to make some move towards you and you weren't interested, they're like, she or he is not going to mince words about it. They're just going to say it like it is. Visions and energy field adjustment. Yeah, there was like a very psychic connection between the two of you in those first impressions. And this happened, regardless of what may have happened between the two of you since, this meeting happened because your energy fields needed to be adjusted. And sometimes it's even painful encounters or the possibility of painful encounters that lead us to those energy field adjustments that we need to kind of like bring us up to the next level in our spirituality or in our, path of ascension. So let's see, what's going on with them now. What are they thinking and feeling about you now? Harry Styles, what makes you beautiful? Oh, this is One Direction. I don't think this is just Harry Styles, is it? Anyway. You're insecure. It's obvious which member is my favorite. Haha. You're insecure, don't know what for. You're turning heads when you walk through the door. Don't need makeup to cover up. Being the way that you are is enough. Everyone else in the room can see it. Everyone else but you. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. Yeah, from the moment they laid eyes on you, you lit up their world. Yeah, if only you saw what I can see, you'd understand why I want you so desperately. Right now I'm looking at you and I can't believe you don't know you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. So they feel like you're very modest, that you actually don't see how profoundly beautiful you are in all ways and the degree to which you affect other people. They're looking at you right now, so they're paying attention to you. So if this is someone you're encountering in your, everyday experience, you see them in person, they're really paying attention. And most likely, as what happens in the modern world, they're probably looking you up online and seeing what they can figure out from that as well. Spin Doctor's Two Princes. Yeah, again, this is like, they might feel like there's some sort of competition. They felt like that from the very beginning, that maybe you had an interest in someone else. And I feel like they still feel that way. I'll hold this up here if you want to read the lyrics. They might think that you're looking to marry someone, and they think that you might prefer someone else over them, or like they have to kind of prove themselves worthy in some way. Let's get some messages from them, from right now, from the present moment. What are they thinking and feeling? I said some mean words to you that I wish I could take back. I think if they did say mean words to you, or just behaved meanly towards you in some way, or dismissively or something like that, that was to hide their own insecurity. But they wish they hadn't done it now because they feel like maybe they sort of shot themselves in the foot. I'm scared to make a move towards you. You don't know how insecure I really am. I tried to act aloof to cover it up. Well, what did I just say? So they probably acted sort of aloof towards you, and it was to cover up their insecurity. They don't feel like they really have a chance, but they desperately want that. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy for them, because the moment they met you, they already decided, like, this is too strong. This energy is too much. I'm going to get my heart broken. And even now, it's just like they're creating this self-fulfilling prophecy. Any final thoughts about this? This Queen of Cups reverse, I think that came up at the end of the first reading too. Yeah, they feel like you're so loving and you have so much love to offer, but they don't feel like you want to offer it to them. They feel like you have a lot going on in your life, that, again, maybe there's someone else that you're interested in or involved with. And they just feel like they're not really a part of your circle. They definitely, I think, view you as someone who's looking to get married. Maybe you're already married, and that's what they see as this third-party thing. But, yeah, what's the advice for the viewer? I feel like, first of all, your guides are saying, don't read too much into this. They're like, don't read too much into it. Don't kind of put too much pressure on it, or like overanalyze it. Don't allow yourself. Also, this can be about being sort of suspicious. They're saying there's nothing really to be suspicious of here. Don't overthink it. If the two of you don't end up together, then I feel like they're saying there's some reason for it beyond what you realize. There's a bigger ship coming, that if this ship doesn't sail the way that you want it to, this connection is coming into your life to sort of shift and change. Again, that energy field adjustment is happening for you to bring you maybe this bigger ship, metaphorically. A better experience than what you could have had with this person, which is not a judgment of you or them. It's just saying this may not happen. They want you to be aware of that and understand why it might not happen with them. And maybe you already kind of suspect that nothing will happen, but you still kind of want to wait around. and see what will happen. I think that your guides might be encouraging you to try to process this and release it and not worry. Sort of like, if it is meant to be, it will be, but either way, something really great is coming. So there's no reason to really worry here. You probably are very worried because we got that message of not to overanalyze things, not to get so in your head to the point that you're creating this type of experience. This is someone who's overthinking to the point of causing themselves pain and suffering. A lot of the things that you're worried about are unnecessary worries. You're creating a reality in your head that is not accurate. And that reality that you're creating is causing you to have all these worries. It's like, when it's dark in your bedroom and you look over and you see a jacket on the wall, but you think it's a monster. That's what the Nine of Swords is like. You're seeing monsters in this connection that aren't really there. So try to let go of those fears that you're having and definitely try to just let your mind be free of this. And just trust and know you're safe and secure. The universe is bringing you in some really significant gift as it relates to your love life. So try to trust that. I really hope that was helpful to you guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please sign up for my newsletter if you haven't already. It'll take you less than 30 seconds to do, and the link for that is in the description below. All right, love you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right there, welcome to everyone who chose reading number 3. If you watched the intro, you'll know that the very first thing we're going to look at is just that moment when they first laid eyes on you. What was that initial impact that you had on them? And then we'll explore the first impressions they had a little bit further beyond just that very first moment. But there's a question that I was sort of curious about, and so I just thought maybe other people would be curious about that as well. So what was that initial impression? Ten of Wands. They felt a certain weight on their shoulders. Something about the moment they first laid eyes on you, it felt there was some sort of burden. Let's look. I was forced to agree. This is weird. King of Diamonds, which is like the King of Pentacles. I was forced to agree. Sherlock Holmes, Adventure of the Creeping Man. Okay, for this I'm going to have to pull some clarifiers. I was forced to agree. I feel like maybe they had the impression that you would be the type of person who would wear the pants, and they don't really like that, but they also felt attracted to you, but they felt like, well, I'm not sure how this is going to work out because I want to be the one in power here. I want to be the king. I want to be the person in charge. I think it was something like that. They may have felt like this was sort of a lost cause, or that, maybe when they first laid eyes on you, there was also something happening at the time where it was obvious to them that the two of you wouldn't agree on some sort of important issue. And so it made them feel like, well, I don't know if I really want to go there, because I have a sneaking suspicion that we're just not going to agree either on what relationships should be like. Like I said, maybe they felt like you would be that type of person who wanted to be the alpha in the relationship, and they were like, but I want to be the alpha, so how is there going to be room for both of us to do that? I definitely feel like they didn't necessarily see this going somewhere that would work for them. Yeah, they're like, if I pursue this more, I'm probably going to get heartbroken, or they're going to get heartbroken, or both. I don't know that I really want to pursue that. I do feel like they had an attraction to you with the Knight of Cups, but they didn't feel like it was in their best interest to pursue it. So don't look away yet. Let's look into it more and see more about what's going on. Yeah, I mean, look. They thought you were fucking beautiful. Divine sensuality, making love, erotica. I mean, they probably were already having, like, sexual thoughts, but they also felt like maybe the burden here was like, well, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to have that, even though I want it, because I just feel like they just felt like you would be the one wanting to wear the pants here, I think. or you just had such a powerful energy, and they were like, I can't match that energy. Like, I'm trying to be in my king energy, but compared to you, you're not just a queen, you're a goddess. They did feel love for you. Today I'll open my eyes a little wider and walk a little taller, noticing that the world around me is filled with tiny miracles. With this in mind, it's easy to fall in love over and over again with everything from honeybees to neon signs. And while I'm feeling this inspired and this in love, everything else sort of falls into place. I think this is someone who crushes easily as well. They fall in love easily, and so they probably have a lot of options to pursue. And just because they prefer to be in this king energy, even if they fell for you immediately and just thought you were so beautiful and sensual and enticing, sexually enticing, but in an emotional way too. You know, this is erotic, you know, which involves the emotions, I feel like. But yeah, they probably, because they crush easily or something, they felt like, well, maybe there's another option that would allow me to be a little bit more in my king energy and not to feel so kind of overwhelmed or overshadowed. So let's look further as they continued to get to know you beyond that very first moment. Yeah, we have Six of Pentacles wanting to come up reversed. They did want something with you, but they weren't sure if they had it to offer, if they had something to offer that you would really want to accept. They were thinking about the future and what the possibilities were. I think they just kind of assumed that the passion wasn't equal. Or, with these Wands cards upright and the Pentacles reversed, maybe they had these passionate feelings, and they were like, well, I really want to explore that. Like, I really want to, like, make love to you, but I don't see this working out in the long term for the reasons that we already described. Not because they're not attracted, but because they just felt like the energies were not right for them in terms of them being in that king energy that they want to feel proud of being in. And you made, you know, you kind of diminished their ability to feel that, but they're like, I still kind of want to be able to, like, you know, they wanted to be able to have a sensual experience with you. But they weren't, I feel like they weren't thinking that it could really last for the long term. Okay, and then this is like the Page of Swords. They were very curious. They wanted to learn more. The more outre, somebody tell me what that means. This card has come out multiple times. The more outre and grotesque an incident is, the more carefully it deserves to be examined. This is not to say that they felt like you were grotesque. They might have felt a little grossed out by themselves because they did see you in this goddess sort of way, and they might have felt a little bit embarrassed about the fact that they wanted to have sex with you knowing that they didn't really have much more to offer. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, maybe it's even someone who was caught up by their own traditional values, or they saw you as someone with more traditional values. So they were thinking about all of those things, like, well, these are the values of commitment. I don't know if that's going to work and allow me to continue to enjoy my ego the way that I want to, but man, I want to get closer to them sexually. Yeah. I mean, this, like, I feel like their feelings towards you were sort of perverted and they knew it. They recognized it. Like, I just want a sexual connection, but probably not a commitment. And I don't want you to misunderstand that it's not that you weren't worthy of a commitment in their mind. It's like they like to be the one in charge, and they didn't feel like they would be able to have that with you because your energy is so strong. So right now, currently, what are they thinking and feeling of you? Well, they're very focused on the present moment. So whatever's happening in their current life right now, with you or without you, that's what they're focused on. Not really thinking too much about the past, not worrying too much about the future, focused on the present. They do see you as a gift. You know, you're someone who's of value. You know, they think you're very warm and cuddly. You know, you know, maybe their feelings now are a little bit more emotional and comfy than they were so sexual. They definitely really appreciate you. This card is about appreciating someone's value as well. So they have a very strong appreciation for you. I think they've gotten past that initial like strong sexual thing to kind of like their feelings have kind of developed a little bit more, and it's become a little bit more, you know, touchy-feely and emotional and cozy. But, you know, you just turn them on right at the beginning, so that's all they could really focus on. What else? Right now, what's going on? Let's see. I feel like they're still kind of waiting and hoping here. They might feel like there's been more of a competition for you in the past, and maybe some of that competition is going away, but they're still not really confident, super confident of what could happen between the two of you, but I feel like they're sort of hopeful. You know, they're not giving up on their feelings. Their interest is not going away. But they're doing a lot of, you know, self-exploration. You know, they're really going within to try to understand their own inner world and emotions as it relates to you. 3 of Cups. There might be some sort of third-party thing going on. A man always finds it hard to realize that he may have finally lost a woman's love, however badly he may have treated her. The Musgrave Ritual. Wow. Yeah, so they could also be feeling like they've lost your love. So maybe it's that they can't compete now because they've lost your love. And if they feel like they've lost your love, it's causing them to do some really intense self-scrutiny, some really intense self-examination, like, how did I get here? You know, how did I get here? 7 of Wands. What you do in this world is a matter of no consequence. The question is, what can you make people believe you have done? Maybe this is someone who has operated that way in the past, that they felt like it was more important to make people see them in a certain way than actually being that way, that the surface was the most important, you know, which is like, that's what narcissism is. Like, it doesn't matter what's in the package, it's only the gift wrapping. If the gift wrapping is shiny enough, then that's what matters. And we live in a very self-involved, narcissistic world right now. And I think this person is starting to question that about themselves, that they've lost your love because of this inauthentic, fake way of being. And it's making them really do some, you know, do some inner work that they've probably needed to do for a long time. Leslie Gore, you don't own me. This is probably how they see your energy towards them. You don't own me. I'm not just one of your many toys. You don't own me. Don't say I can't go with other boys. And don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to say. And please, when I go out with you, don't put me on display. You know, you're like, I am not this superficial little token prize. You don't own me. Don't try to change me in any way. You don't own me. Don't tie me down because I'd never stay. I don't tell you what to say. I don't tell you what to do. So just let me be myself. That's all I ask of you. Yeah. Ooh, they definitely feel like if you ever were in love with them, they feel like you've fallen out and you are just like asserting your independence from them. And this person is really just doing a lot of thinking. So Chainsmokers and Coldplay, something like this. I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, Achilles and his gold, Hercules and his gifts, Spider-Man's control, and Batman with his fists. And clearly, I don't see myself upon that list. But they've been trying to put up that front of being like a superhero or like the perfect person. They've been looking like this idealized person because they felt like that's what matters. And they're starting to realize that's not what you ever wanted anyway. Like, you want someone who's authentic. And they're trying to figure out, well, okay, I guess I need to figure out how to be a real human being now, not just walk around with this stupid mask all the time. But she said, where do you want to go? How much you want to risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss. I just want something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. But they think that you don't want what they have to offer, you know, because you're not offering them that just normal, authentic experience. What are some messages from this person to you? What do they want to say? I still can't believe you could ever really love me. Yeah, they definitely don't think that you do anymore. Maybe you're too high maintenance for me. I mean, they feel like your standards are really high, but at the same time, they're starting to realize, you know, like really all you just wanted was someone who's real and authentic. That's not really a high standard. Will you make me a true priority? I feel like this person like wants to have someone revolve around them like they're the sun and they're like the center of the universe. You know, so it's not that you wouldn't prioritize them. It's like you wouldn't prioritize them in the way that would really satisfy their ego. That's what's really going on here. I'm scared to make a move towards you. You don't know how insecure I really am. Yeah, because they try to put up this front, which is not who they really are. I try to act aloof to cover it up. I said some mean words to you that I wish I could take back. Any final thoughts for people who chose number 3? There is the possibility of this situation improving. This person is improving themselves. They are getting more in touch with their emotions and their heart. You know, because they can't find their inner peace until they do that. You know, this connection has really spurred this person to do some very, very strongly needed inner work. That is for sure. And your guides are reassuring you that this person is doing that. So if you doubt that this person can ever actually change, they actually are changing. So what's the advice for you? They definitely want you to notice this person's, I guess they want you to see the miracle of how this person is changing, improving themselves. They want you to kind of observe that and understand that. They're saying this isn't necessarily something that we want you to pursue being with them exactly. You know, your guides can't make your choices for you, but these are just, you know, this is their guidance. Not necessarily saying to move forward with this person, but they want you to see and understand, like I said, the miracle of change, that people can change, and this person is changing right now. Maybe you need to see that because there's a change that needs to happen in you that you feel skeptical of being able to take as well. So it's like they want you to be inspired by the fact that you have inspired this person to change. There is love here, and maybe in the future, once some of this change has happened that we've been talking about, maybe there will be a chance to reconnect with them in a very loving way, where you can get, you know, beyond that, those masks, and really get to know each other more. So that was an interesting reading. I hope you all really got something helpful out of that. If you haven't signed up for my newsletter, just click on the link in the description. It'll take less than 30 seconds to do that. My next newsletter is coming out at the end of this month, June 2020, and you'll want to get that for the freebies, discounts, and what I hope could be considered wisdom that is included in all of my newsletters. Those come out 4 times per year. So I'm not going to be flooding your inbox, but there's lots of good stuff in those when they do come out. All right, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.